Hello everybody, King Nutty Reviews here, and today we're going to talk some Kono Oto Tomare. Now these recent two chapters, we've got a lot of pushing for this Uzuki content, which I've been really enjoying. So I'm going to keep this video a bit short. I'm going to just talk about why I'm really enjoying this Uzuki content and why it's so good for my boys, Chika and Momoya. So if you do end up enjoying the video, please like, comment, and subscribe. It goes a long way and it does help me out. I appreciate it. Now, how is Chika Momoya doing in this little arc going on here? Let's talk about it. Everybody get your fucking hands up. Son, these last two chapters have been so good, and I've been a big fan of what Amyuu trying to do. So let's give a little background on who exactly Uzuki is. In the first few chapters, the first volume, I would say, we got some history on Chika. Chika, he has been very violent in middle school. He's been fighting a lot of people, and then his life has just been a downward spiral. And his granddad has been the only person there for him, as along with Tatsuki. Tatsuki and his granddad have been the main two. And Tatsuki has had a lot of scenes where he showed how much he cares for Chika, but Chika isn't really seeing it because all he's seeing is just himself beating on people, being used by other people, stuff like that. And the granddad as well really caring for Chika, but Chika isn't really seeing it. And then they're getting a bit frustrated, but they're still holding it down for Chika. Now, Chika slowly starts to see just how bad his life is going with his violence and stuff like that. And after an incident where he damaged the granddad's koto, the granddad is now in a situation where he could just throw Chika away and he damaged my koto, throw him away. But instead he's like, nah, I'm still his gramps at the end of the day. And I want to be his gramps. So I'ma still, regardless of how he acts, I'ma still hold it down for him. And after that, Chika's like, man, let me be serious, So he starts getting more into koto, starts trying to learn why koto is so intriguing and loved so much by his grandpa. So he ends up stopping his delinquent behavior and being more into koto, a bigger smile on his face, stuff like that. And then his delinquent friends didn't exactly like how Chika became boring now that he's using his fist for better things than just beating people up. So they end up ransacking Chika's grandpa's house, made it look exactly the way Chika does it. And then when Chika came back, since it looked like Chika did it, and Chika does have a history of doing a similar thing. It wasn't this bad, but he does have a history of, hurting kotos back in the day. So the blame kind of shifted towards Chika, and then the police officers and stuff like that, they didn't believe anything Chika was saying, and they said, even if you didn't do it, wasn't it your fault that this situation came about in the first place? And then those words really stuck with him. Like, those words made him be like, you know what, even though I'm not guilty, I know that me living this life where I'm beating people up and I'm even damaging his coaches back in the day, this situation only happened because of something like that. And he just took out the blame, even though the guy that set him up is clearly the one to blame. But Chica's just that kind of guy. He's like, you know what, I deserve it. This might be my way to atone, even though we all know he didn't do it and he loves his grandpa. Then the story continues on. Chika gets more friends, becomes livelier. Everyone's seen how hard he works. His koto gets more developed. He's starting to see more of his grandpa. Just a beautiful story, bro. I love it. And then it all comes full circle because we meet the dude that actually caused all of this, and his name is Uzuki. So that's pretty much how Uzuki is a character and what he is to Chika. Now, the problem with Uzuki, right, is that he's related to Momoya. And Momoya is another character that was kind of looked at in a weird way because Momoya was a very distant character. Even though he had good intentions, he always tried to play a role. He never was himself, and he never brought about good like interacting with Momoya didn't feel genuine and stuff like that. It felt like he was just trying to maybe reading from like a script or something like that, but he wasn't really genuine. That's the main idea. And the people notice that and they're like, like we don't really like people like this. Even though Momoya as a person, honestly, isn't bad. Like, he really pays attention to what you say, every side and little details you mention to him. He does remember it, and he keeps it in his head and his heart. So it's unfortunate that people look at him that way, but it's very understandable. And then Chika was one of the few people that saw Momoya for who he was, him and Kota, and their relationship developed well. And Chika's also the reason why Momoya kind of joined the club too. He just wanted to see Chika's growth and how that happened, and if the club was the reason, which it was. So Chika being, close to Momoya, he's telling Tetsuki, I love Momoya's sound. Momoya, he's that dude, bro. I love him. And then now, the guy that literally ruined Chika's life, his brother, is this same guy Chika's been gassing up, Momoya. So now we're put in this situation where Chika and Momoya butt heads. And, I mean, we didn't see them butt heads yet, but last chapter, 101, were basically butting heads. Like, next page of chapter 102, butting heads. So, very interesting development. I'm really liking where this is going, because Uzuki, man, he is a terrible dude, and this arc is good for Chika and Momoya's character, because one of the loose ends of Chika's character was Uzuki. He moved on. Chika moved on from his lifestyle, but Uzuki still exists, and until he kind of closes ends with Uzuki, that will never disappear unless he never meets Uzuki again. No, he has to either. The only two ways to kind of stop it will be, number one, you never meet Uzuki again, so you never have to solve the problem, or two, you do meet him and you solve it. So he does meet him, and then now he has to solve this issue they have with each other. Because Uzuki, he keeps thinking Chika just someone to play with, you know what I'm saying? Back then, it was like beating a dead horse. Chika was already lifeless, had no one to confound in, stuff like that, and then Uzuki took advantage. But now he has all these people backing him, his club, Tetsuki, his aunt, all this. Like, I need Uzuki in the dirt. So, Uzuki, this arc is doing well for Momoya's character as well, not just Chika, because we got a bit of Momoya's backstory. And in that backstory, we get a lot of insight on why Momoya is who he is. We learn that his family is fake. So, his mom ended up a side hoe to his dad, but his dad will come home once or twice every month with gifts and presents. Keep in mind, when a husband and wife come home after work and stuff like that, they don't always have gifts every time, So it's looking like a monetary kind of relationship here. Like, oh, when I come, this is kind of my forgive me for neglecting you for the past month. Here's, here's the Louis bag, here's the chain, stuff like that. Like, Momoya, even though he was a kid, he can tell that something's going on here. This isn't a normal husband-wife, parent-child relationship they have. And then it gets to a point where he just gets this icky feeling. So he ends up following the dad, and then sees his dad go to another house, like, oh, darling, I'm home. And he's just like, I know he ain't just do this, bro. Like, it's very unfortunate that Momoya has to grow up in these conditions, but that's just how it goes. And then we get Uzuki. Uzuki comes in, and then he kind of becomes the only truth for Momoya. And by that, I mean both the mom and dad was confirmed liars by kid Momoya. Kid Momoya is still a kid here. So he sees mom and dad. He's like, man, I can't believe these two. But his half-brother, Uzuki, comes in, and then Uzuki already knows about what the dad's doing, and then he kind of feels some empathy towards Momoya. He's like, the dad's the sleazeball here. Don't even worry. The dad's the one at fault. I'm the only one you can trust, and we're the only ones that, we can trust with each other. And then to make things even better for Momoya, Uzuki kind of keeps a distance where they don't get too personal, but they still have a good connection. So Momoya kind of like that distance, and keep in mind that distance is the distance he has currently. So this is really showing why Momoya is the way he is. growing up with these lies. It hurts. It really hurts kids. And then I know one time Uzuki even mentioned that isn't living in a house with lies, you can't really be yourself, can you? And then Momoya replied like, oh, I never even thought about being myself even once. Isn't it better to just fit the role or fit the scene? And as mentioned before in the video earlier, Momoya doesn't really act like himself, or he doesn't give out his true feelings. He usually fits a role. He wants everyone to kind of be happy. He's like, okay, he looks at the room, this is how they want me to act, so I'm gonna act like this. He never really, acts the way he wants to act, and he doesn't really have his own unique, like, this is who I am kind of personality. So it all stems from trying to fit in with his fake family. He's like, wow, mom, dad fake, I guess I gotta be fake too. He fits in, and then eventually the relationship continues. Him and Uzuki, they're confiding with each other. Then the mom sees that Momoya is going a little too old in middle school. He's not gonna buy these lies. So she's like, oh, I broke up with their dad. Momoya's like, bruh, I'm not gonna believe this. But he plays along. He's like, oh, is this a script this time? And you can just tell he's so used to these lies that even his own biological birth mother, he can't even trust her. It's really tough. It's really tough. And we're getting Uzuki talking about Chika now during the middle school. Momoya said Uzuki really changed when he met Chika. He became more like a delinquent. He's been more violent and stuff like that. Came back with like scars, and he's okay. Maybe this is Chika's influence. He's not sure what's going on. Then eventually he heard that Chika got accused for attacking his granddad's home and end up killing the granddad, yada yada. And he's like, man, he thought Uzuki was mad that a friend of his would betray him like that and become such a bad person. So Momoya is trying to give some heartfelt words. He says, hey, like, if a friend does something like that, I know it could be tough. Uzuki's like, nah, man, like, he was framed. Someone framed him. And keep in mind, Uzuki was the one that framed him, and he's out here saying, oh man, someone out there framed him. I'll never betray Chika, or I'll never think he's the culprit. Bro, he's so scummy. This is his brother he's saying this to. Like, he knows what he's doing. He's really manipulating Momoya like it's nothing. The same way he's manipulating Chika. Both my sons on strings to this loser. It's so crazy. But yeah, after that, a year goes by. They just never see each other. And then Uzuki comes again. And he's just like, oh, do me a favor. And that favor was to rekindle the relationship between Chika and Uzuki. So he is plotting something crazy, bruh. Leave him alone. Just leave him alone. It's that simple. And what makes this so intriguing is that Uzuki's friend, him and Uzuki, they honestly want to see Chika in the dirt by any means. Like, the friend even mentioned that he wants to ruin Chika with his own hands. He doesn't want to remotely do it. With his own hands, he wants to see Chika break. And I'm just like, why? Why are y'all like this? I need him gone. But 101 ends with Uzuki hugging Chika. Like, best friend, we finally get to meet Chika. Keep in mind, right before this scene, Momoya was trying to tell Chika that Uzuki is his brother and what's going on, but he didn't get enough time because Uzuki said he would wait for Momoya to kind of rekindle the relationship, but he just wanted to set Momoya up. So now Uzuki will most likely, during his dialogue with Chika in 102, he's gonna go along the lines of, oh, Momoya's my brother, I asked him to help get us together, he agreed, yada yada. He's gonna set Momoya up so badly. It's crazy. And the one thing is that Chika's usually good in these situations, right? When it comes to other people, believing in other people, stuff like that. But when it comes to Uzuki, it's a bit different. Because even Chika was hiding Uzuki from his friends. And I honestly don't blame him. It makes sense. But of course, given how the story goes, it's always good for these characters to, on their first instinct, be like, okay, let me trust my friends. And usually I'll be mad at this for him not doing it. But when your family member dies because of this person, it makes things a bit more iffy, because this isn't just a problem that I'm bearing too much on my shoulders. Instead of asking for help, let me just keep bottling everything up inside and then it'll work out. This isn't one of those situations. This guy is dangerous, and I'm not saying he's gonna go out and kill one of the club members, but he can definitely hire some guys to ruin all their kotos easily. He can definitely hire some guys to just beat these guys up. He's been doing it all first volume through the flashbacks. If Adachi, Kota, they all were getting beat up by most likely Uzuki's friends. And then we saw what he did to the granddad, and they have nationals coming up. So getting them involved with Uzuki can really be detrimental to not only their health, but definitely the nationals. And this is their last year. So there's a lot of factors kind of adding up to why he didn't say it. Even though, like I said, it would have been good to still indulge in them, just in case. But I can definitely get this hesitation. Uzuki is dangerous. And the one thing is that I don't really understand is how we can really solve this. Because Uzuki, after the chapter when we saw them at school, he really seems like he wants this done. Like he really wants to see Chika in the mud. So, number one, we can't really talk him out of it, right? It's just not gonna work. Two, violence doesn't seem like the best way to go about this. Like beating him up, honestly, that might make things worse, because he might use that to like make a future situation worse. Maybe through, I don't know, blackmail. He maybe recorded it, reports it, yada yada. And another reason is that he's not in our school. So telling a teacher, telling a principal, that doesn't do anything. It doesn't. Even telling the police, not gonna do anything, because he ain't doing a crime yet. And honestly, Chika does not have a good record with the police. So it's so hard to think of how they can honestly stop Uzuki from just messing with him. Uzuki has so much power, and of course you can't kill him. You can't just kill him. That's wrong, and it's a slice of life. So, man, I'm excited to see where this goes, because Chika and Momoya are one of my fave characters. These are my sons. Like, I love them so much. And to see Uzuki just having them on strings like this is just gross. Get him out. Get him out. But another thing I've been liking was Tetsuki. How Tetsuki confronted Momoya, and then he realized that Momoya isn't exactly the culprit here. He saw that based on Momoya's dialogue, Uzuki has been feeding Momoya lies, telling Momoya, oh, we're best friends, someone framed him. Tetsuki was like, whoa, he didn't tell you he was the one that framed him? Momoya said, nah, that's new info. Man. So I want to see what Momoya does, because I feel like this would be a great way to really get Momoya out of his shell, because he's really been making great progress throughout the series, and for the first time we really saw him during Tetsuki's talk. He was like near on slumped over, just thinking like, what do I do? He never really had to think for himself at this degree, and he's mentally almost breaking. It was reached a point where he was yelling in front of the classroom, mad, trying to ignore his problems. But Kushinaga was like, nah, don't do that. So I feel like when this misunderstanding happens with Uzuki, Chika, and him, Momoya has to really, because if Momoya truly from the heart tells Chika he didn't know stuff like that, Chika will believe him. Chika is not good. Like, Uzuki is one thing, but Chika is gonna believe Momoya over Uzuki. Like, that's just how it is. But Momoya can't put himself in a I just want to fit in situation. He gotta really say it from the heart, that hey, I was literally just about to tell you, Uzuki, he tricked me, yada yada yada. Because Tatsuki too believed him. So Chika definitely gonna believe him as well. So yeah, this whole Uzuki thing, man. Like I said, I've been liking it. I feel like the club needed this. One last kind of slice of life tag situation before we really get into the professional school versus school thing going on. Because after the late 90s, when we played that song, man, beautiful. But of course, it's not perfect. We still gotta perfect the song, and then we still got a few months left. So what will we do in those few months? Let's start perfecting the song. and that'll be to deal with stuff like this. So I'm excited for the future and to see where we go. Uzuki, you got to go. I'm so curious to see what Amyuu wants to do with Uzuki. I want to see what Chika would do, because I feel like Chika's already one of my fave MCs ever. You know, probably top 5. And this next volume and this whole Uzuki thing can really cement it. Like, without a question, he's up there for me if this is handled well. You know, because like I said, that was the missing piece of his character, dealing with his past loose ends. And of course, Momoya is just being great. So, just Momoya stuff. And honestly, him breaking free from Uzuki can make for a really good storyline. Because at the end of the day, Uzuki was that one truth for him. At least he believes so. Because he couldn't believe his mom, couldn't believe his dad. Uzuki is the only family left he can kind of trust in. And even now, after the Tetsuki talk, he was like, wow, even him. And he said, it's not a surprise that people around me are exposed to be brazen liars, something like that. And I'm just like, wow, no one says this without going through some tough childhood trauma. So very unfortunate for Momoya, but I feel like this will make both Chika and Momoya grow well. I don't care for Uzuki at all. I want to see him burn, but I'm curious to see how he'll go about things, because he definitely seems like a very, very dangerous antag. Because what the club is trying to accomplish, number one, get to nationals, and to do that, they have to work super hard every single day. And Uzuki can easily prevent them from working hard every single day by hiring people to destroy the club, hiring people to ruin their health, and he can honestly hire people to ruin their homes. Like Sakai, he has little siblings. We all saw what happened to Chika's family. Sakai's siblings might be in danger. Like, this is how dangerous Uzuki is. And he got friends that want the same thing. What do we do? You know, so, man, these next few chapters are going to be rough, but I'm expecting some greatness. Shout out that Momoya backstory. Loved it. You know, nice approach to how she usually does backstories. And, yeah, very excited. Very excited. Momoya Chika, I'm waiting for your masterclass. It's guaranteed to happen. 10 out of 10 already. And Uzuki, I can't wait for you to burn. Hopefully you only last 4 more chapters max. But we'll see. We'll see. So yeah, Kono Oto, I've said many times, I've been really enjoying it. Uzuki arc so far, been great for these characters, even though Uzuki himself is big garbage. And I've been loving the ride. Hope you guys have been loving the ride too. Kono Oto, one of my favorite series. And that's pretty much it. You know, if you guys did enjoy the video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It goes a long way. It really does help me out. I do appreciate it. And let's pray these next few chapters are gas, and then we get to the Nationals arc, which is gonna be absolute peak slice of life fiction of all time. So I'm gonna catch y'all later. Thank you again for watching, and peace.